Let's go to the Dunkey video. Let's go to Dunkey's best of 2020. Let's see what he had to say about 2020. This fucking
Last year in my video, I said this. What we are experiencing right now is the calm before the storm. Next year is when shit goes down. March. So this year, I'm gonna say that 2021, this is gonna be a really good year this time. What games did we get this year? Hasan, right? Monster Energy Drink, Motorcycle 3.
Monster Energy Supercross 3, the official video game.
It's always nice to see.
Wait, is that real?
3.
Monster Energy.
Also, what is fucking 3 and up? Like, my 4-year-old is playing the Monster Energy game while sucking down on some monsters himself. Or sorry, well, it would be my 4-year-old is playing Monster Energy Supercross 3 to understand how the Americans work, you know? Wait. Is this Peggy? Is this EU, Euro fucking... Wait. My 3-year-old. 3-year-old. Is that good?
Supercross 3, the official video game.
Also, I want Marie Le Pen to be the president.
Always nice to see a new Strand game.
She has some good ideas.
Only Mountains Downhill as the game Death Stranding should have been. Dreams was a technological breakthrough, finally allowing gamers to make our own games like Fall Guys, I'm pretty sure was made in there, and Shenmue 3. Ubisoft tried to make Breath of the Wild like straight up just exactly Breath of the Wild, and what's funny about this game is even though they ripped off as many ideas as they possibly could, it still sucks ass because it's made by Ubisoft. Gran Turismo Sport. Ooh, the driving in this game is so classy. It feels like your name is Delfonzio. Paper Mario was funny. Crash Bandicoot 4 was very faithful to the PS1 games. Tony Hawk's game was very faithful to the PS1 games. Streets of Rage 4 came out. Neo 2. Fuck this shit. 2020 really was the year of waiting too long for a game and then the wait not paying off. Half-Life, Shenmue, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy Remake. These are games that I thought would never come out. And
I didn't even know Shenmue 2 came out this year. For those of you who don't know, Shenmue 1 is like the OG granddaddy of like 3D sandbox open world games. It's like one of the first, or 3? Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't even know fucking 2 existed. But the first one is literally the fucking... The first one is literally like the OG, one of the first ever 3D open world sandbox games. And the one that like really blew that out of the water, of course, is still Grand Theft Auto 3, but... Shenmue is so bad. Talking like he knows video games. Brother, I was playing video games when you were shitting in your diapers. Like, I am a fucking boomer. Like, you can shit on my gamer bona fides all you want, all day long, but that is the reality. I grew up playing every fucking pirated game on the planet when I was growing up in Turkey, and I had a PC. Guys, I had a fucking gamer laptop, okay? Shut the fuck up. Like, it doesn't get more... It literally doesn't get more virgin than that. I had a gamer laptop, a gateway gamer laptop when I came into college. And then I lost my virginity. And I became a console gamer and, you know, stopped playing video games and got a MacBook. I brought a 17-inch... Well, it wasn't even a 17-inch. It was the biggest gaming laptop they had at the time. Gamer laptop did not exist in those days, just posers. No, I had a Gateway FX that was one of the first, like, gaming laptops out there. It was heavy as fuck, too, and I couldn't fit it in my goddamn backpack. Bilgisayarcı oyun yükletirdim be korsan ne günlerdi. Yeah.
Arjan? Pogo.
2009. And then there's a brief moment where I have sex from 2009 to, I guess, 2019. There's a brief decade where I fucked and I did not have a PC or a gamer laptop anymore and only played games on the console. And my life was probably better. And then after that, we're back. We're back to business. Just gaming on the PC all day, every day.
And now that they did, I
No
kind of
sex.
wish they didn't. Heroes of the Storm. But for real this time though, this game is great because it lets you play a game like League of Legends without having to actually play League of Legends. Everything about Heroes is faster and to the point. Nobody wants to be locked in a match with randoms for 50 plus minutes. That is a fucking nightmare. 12 to 20 minutes is that perfect slice and then you're out. This is no longer a casualized shell of a better game. They have added so much wacky stuff to this game at this point that League is now the smaller game. You have 15 different maps. You have a character called Cho'Gall that is controlled by 2 players at once. Look at how Cho'Gall uses his mount. The horse goes on him. Carrying the horse makes him move faster. Now tell me this game is not a masterpiece. You have the Lost Vikings, which is 3 characters controlled by 1 player. You have a guy called Abathur who just sits in the base the entire match. You have a Murloc character that does nothing. He's just a troll character you pick to piss off both teams. It's so genius. It's not the most complex MOBA. It's not the most competitive MOBA. It's just the fun one. Honestly, this is worth installing just to look at the people in the general chat. Ori and the Will of the Smiths is a sadder game than Last of Us Part 2. The music is majestic, the artwork is dazzling, and the main character is so nimble and exciting to control. There's a big frog, there's a big bear, there's a lot of cool stuff, but Will Smith doesn't actually appear in this. What are we doing here? Was he the frog? I have played the multiplayer on this to death and back, but if I switch it on, I'll get sucked right back in. This is the year where I found out that time trial mode is the best mode of every racing game. There are 47 tracks for you to master and baby park. It's quantity and quality. Racing games have always been synonymous with fancy graphics, and Mario Kart 8 jumps over the bar, takes the bar, and fucking leaves with it. Look at how realistic the graphics are. These are some of the most detailed, beautiful courses ever, and they're full of
I've never fucking played. Dude, I need to. Nintendo is just like a blank area for me. I just don't play Nintendo games at all.
shortcuts and branching paths. We're talking Shy Guy Falls is in this game. Delfino Airport, my man. Luigi's Mansion, my man. Mount Wario. Swamp Ruin. Wild Woods is where I found out that toads have an Ewok village in the jungle. And then the soundtrack fucks you up. When you pop out of the water on Dolphin Shoals and this crazy motherfucker starts going berserk on the saxophone. Mario Kart 8 is drift-heavy arcade racing polished to an immaculate sheen, and if I don't get Mario Kart 9 this year,
Were you
I
a
will
filthy
kill
Sega
Bowser.
kid? No, I was never a Sega kid. I was a PC PlayStation only.
Polished to an immaculate sheen, and if I don't get Mario Kart 9 this year, I will kill Bowser in front of everyone, and I don't give a damn. Bowser is going bye-bye. Animal Crush. Now the way this game works is that I played this for 100 hours and went, oh, that was a good game, whereas Leah played this for 500 hours and went, yeah, this one was pretty weak actually. I think we both expected more substantial updates to roll out over the year. It's sad to see how much content is pumped into the microtransaction fueled mobile game versus New Horizons, but when it first came out, we had so much fun playing this. Me and Leah would huddle up on the couch and play this all day, catching all the fish and the bugs for the museum, collecting all the different items to customize our house and towns. I remember I kept getting a rare item and Leah would go, what? How'd you get that? And then I had to go to her town, which took like 3 hours, and make her the rare item, and then she would give me like 20 items I never saw before in my life. It was such a happy, relaxing time. Everybody was playing this game and having so much fun, but then everything changed. Coach.
Isn't this literally because like it was also right as like COVID happened? By the way, this seems just like Rust, but with more unique items. I guess everything is Rust because Rust is life. Get a girlfriend, you fucking loser. I know, man. Shut up. Fuck you. Equating Animal Crossing to Rust. It's just there's a loot component to it that is similar. I probably would like it.
Road is dead. Tom Nook is arrested and dead. I go to the beach and I look for the stupid art dealer. He's never there. Going to the store and it's all items I already have. It seems like Animal Crossing is over for now, but it was fun while it lasted. Every time a new bullshit hard game comes out, you see the argument of, should these difficult games have an easy mode? Hades has a pretty interesting solution. When you start off, it is ridiculously hard. You stand pretty much no chance of winning, so it's on the player to gradually unlock the easy mode. The further you get into the game, the more currency you get to upgrade your dude. So you
Okay, but that's Dark Souls too. That's the same concept as From Software games. Completely different. Every From Software game, every fucking From Software game, that's the joke. Oh, my bad.
you get that perspective and appreciation for overcoming.
Not even remotely close, LMAO. Dude, come on, dude. Come the fuck on. You guys are so delusional. There is definitely adjusting fucking difficulty in From Software games, but by the end of the fucking game, you have mastered so many different play styles. You know how to use like the best weapons. You've been able to craft the fucking best weapons. You literally haven't played Hades, so you can't speak on this? I mean, yeah.
Tough fights without having to literally perfect them. There's also tons of wacky power-up combos for you to cook up and try to break the game with. I guess you could say that Hades is one hell of a game. Just like Hades, Last of Us 2 is a game where you don't have to choose between great gameplay or a great story. People are still looking at me like I'm crazy for liking this game, but give it a couple years and they'll be looking at you weird for not liking this game.
The best take he ever had on game-wise. Dude, The Last of Us 2, just the fucking... If you play The Last of Us 2 as a straight shooter, it was so fucking awesome. It was so awesome. Incredible.
Now, when we're talking about shooting games, what you have to remember is that every video game ever made is a shooting game. What's special about Doom Eternal is that it's the first FPS in years where the developers actually tried. It's not rocket science. It's just make the enemies move more, make the player move more, and make the player think more. It's everything that worked about Doom 2016 cranked up to an even higher intensity, but this time with a grapple hook. I guess you could say it's one hell of a game. I'll kill him. In a normal fighting game, you have about this many moves. In Tekken 7, you have this many moves.
What the fuck?
This is one of the easier characters. The sheer quantity of moves is daunting, but it's also what makes the game so wild and unpredictable. I had so much fun this year climbing through the ranks as Kuma. For some reason, I always imagined the other players taking the game super seriously, and then I'm just sitting here doing all this stupid bullshit as a big dumb idiot bear, and I win anyway. Just on Kuma, I could say this, I could say this, I can come down here, give him a slipperoo, go for the bongo flip, go for the disrespectful kick. I can just lay down and say, yeah, so many options, so much room to get creative.
No way! You blocked that?
I have nothing bad to say about Tekken 7, except that the single player really sucks. Please bring back the old school arcade mode. I have beaten Red Dead Redemption 2 3 times.
Spoiler alert.
Now, and what I've learned about this game is
Wait,
that
I thought
this
he
is
hated.
a very, very, very long game. The end credits are 35 minutes long, okay? As a shooter, it's pretty repetitive. It has the world record for most trailing missions in a game. Warma sucks ass, but if you can look past all of the mistakes, this is one of the best stories ever told in the video game medium. The slower you move through Red Dead, the more you're going to appreciate it. The characters here are just so human and well realized.
I like that his favorite game of 2020 is not a 2020 game.
there to crack jokes. They have dreams and aspirations. My first time playing through this game, I was just lost. The story is so huge and sprawling, and it goes off on so many different tangents. It's like consuming an entire television series. But once you've beaten it and you understand how it's structured and how it all connects, then you can really
Oh, none of them are 2020. Never mind.
absorb all the little details that are everywhere in this game. Arthur Morgan is loyal to a fault, right? I don't think anybody would argue against that. But now check out one of the earlier missions in the game where they're about to execute Sean, and he goes,
We either rescue him now or cut him loose.
We're not cutting anyone loose.
Of course not.
this man might have just let him kill Sean right there if it wasn't for Charles. You'll see this a lot in the game, how characters will change each other for the better and for the worse. You'll also see how they say one thing and do another. This entire game, Arthur is talking shit about Dutch behind his back, and then Dutch hatches.
This game is also a never-ending flex on a fucking world game, like a big world sandbox game like Cyberpunk. Like, this sequence alone, this sequence alone is just like, oh yeah, dude, you can't fucking build a massive universe, a massive, consistently surviving and living, breathing fucking universe on an now antiquated, ancient fucking platform, dude? Really? When there's a new one coming out? Big flex. Bro, this is an empty field. Okay, first of all, I've already made that argument, but the humans that exist in Red Dead, they were interactable. They were alive. Whereas unfortunately in Cyberpunk, that was a significant fucking, that was an area that needed significant improvement. Yes, I know that Rockstar is much larger. It took a lot more time to fucking build, but you have to remember that, like, this worked. The people saying that it doesn't work with more time and more resources is wrong. Also, I loved Cyberpunk. Probably my favorite game that I've played this year still. Or not this year, last year, whatever. But if you were to consider it this year's game, I would most likely still consider it so far to be the best game.
Entire game, Arthur is talking shit about Dutch behind his back, and then Dutch hatches up some batshit crazy scheme. Who's the only person that's gonna make it happen? Arthur Morgan. The gang is already on that downward spiral before chapter 1 even begins. Dutch fights and schemes, but the cards are so hopelessly stacked against him. Arthur embodies Dutch's pride and loyalty, but as he fades away, their bond becomes meaningless. Years later, you confront him up in those snowy mountains, the man with the silver tongue who can talk his way out of any situation, and finally, he's got nothing left to say. What a special video game this is.
Super Mario Brothers 2. Someone said Pan Am, checkmate. What makes even less sense, the CDPR ported Doom Eternal to the Switch and it runs great. Alien Isolation and Bioshock Switch ports look better than the PS4, Xbox One versions. They even put The Witcher on Switch. They all look better than Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, Cyberpunk 2077 could have been one of the greatest games of all time, and unfortunately, it fucking fell short of that and was a gigantic disappointment. I was one of the 10 people on this planet who was able to play the game as it was supposed to be fucking played, with like maxed out graphics and shit on my 10K fucking PC. Of course, when I was streaming, I couldn't do that. But even then, it was still pretty goddamn good. And I loved every moment of it. I was deeply addicted to it. And most of the reason for why I was deeply addicted to it was because... Most of the reason for why I was deeply addicted to it was because of the universe that they were able to bring to life. Okay?
Hasan.
It was the world that... they were able to turn into a video game. And even then, there was so much more room for opportunity, but it was awesome. you played the Resident Evil 8 demo? No, I downloaded it though. I downloaded it on my PlayStation to try it out. The music was great on Cyberpunk, yes. Do you think the world really felt alive though? At certain moments, the world felt alive until you were hit with like a bag of fucking bricks in the face when you saw an NPC very clearly behaving in an NPC style way, or if you could overlook the fact that a lot of these fucking NPCs were just simply running the same pattern over and over again. You can talk to a single one of them too. It just like broke the immersion. It's like Dragon Ball Z, okay? Going back and rewatching Dragon Ball Z for me was a bit of a disappointment, and I know I'm going to trigger a lot of fucking weebs here. And the reason for why I found this as a somewhat of a disappointment was because when I was a fucking kid, I literally just in my mind let my imagination fill all of the holes in the artwork itself. Like, I never realized that it was just like literally just fucking the same punch being copy pasted over and over again. And that requires a tremendous undertaking regardless, but like, it was your imagination doing most of the fucking, shouldering most of the burden. Okay? Still an incredible show, don't get me wrong.